A new Netflix docuseries about Sean Diddy Combs is making headlines for its never-before-seen footage of the music mogul in the days before his arrest.
Puffy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Sean Combs.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
When a Netflix documentary accidentally leaked unseen footage of Diddy, the internet lost its mind. But the real shock didn't happen online. It happened inside a courthouse at 11:47 p.m. when a sitting judge saw the clip, stopped breathing for a moment, and immediately ordered an emergency review. A review that shouldn't exist, a clip that shouldn't exist, and a leak that threatens everything Diddy thought he buried. The file came through silently, without sender information, without metadata, without any hint of who uploaded it. It appeared in a restricted digital folder reserved for sealed evidence, something only the judge's staff should have access to. Nothing ever lands there without approval. Except tonight, something did. A security clerk doing a routine sweep was the first to notice the blinking red icon. He clicked the file expecting a misplaced video transcript, maybe a mislabeled motion hearing. Instead, the screen opened to raw footage, shaky, dimly lit, atmospheric. And in the center of the frame stood Diddy, not in performance mode, not in an interview, not the polished version the public knows. This was something else, something darker, something unguarded. The kind of moment that belongs locked in a vault forever. The clerk only watched 7 seconds before slamming his finger on pause. His chest tightened. He looked at the timestamp, the location tags, the reaction on Diddy's face. He swallowed, reached for the phone, and dialed the one number he hoped he'd never have to call after hours. The judge. 23 minutes later, the judge walked back into the courthouse, wearing his overcoat, hair still wet from the shower he cut short. He approached the screen, eyes narrowing as the clerk explained what he found. Without saying a word, the judge hit play. This time, the clip runs the full 8 seconds. 8 seconds is all it takes for the judge's expression to shift from confused to disturbed to something close to fear. He closes the laptop slowly, as though the footage might bite him if he moves too quickly. "This cannot wait until morning," he says. His voice is low, tight. "Call Netflix, call Diddy's counsel. I want them here, tonight." On the other side of the city, Netflix's editing headquarters is still alive, not because they're working late, but because internal alerts won't stop ringing. A private archive file, one that was never meant to be seen, has been accessed. But here's the part that makes everyone freeze. The access wasn't from inside Netflix. It came from outside, from a government-linked domain. A senior editor scrolls through the internal logs, eyes darting. This footage wasn't part of the trailer. It wasn't part of the public cut. It wasn't even in the second assembly draft. Another team member leans forward. "So how did someone get it?" Silence. Heavy, suffocating silence. Then a notification pops up. Mandatory court attendance. Emergency review session. The email is from the judge's office. No subject line. No explanation. Netflix legal counsel whispers, "This means one thing." The court got footage they were never meant to see, and the room goes still. Meanwhile, Diddy is at home, staring at his phone as the first wave of messages flood in. His team sends blurry screenshots of the leaked clip. Diddy opens the file link. His expression tightens immediately. "This angle wasn't in the documentary," he mutters. "Where the hell did this come from?" His head of security chimes in on speaker. "We checked the vault. This exact clip wasn't stored there." His lawyer cuts in, "Sean, this clip wasn't part of the court's evidence either." Diddy's jaw clenches. "What are you saying? Someone fabricated this?" "No," the lawyer replies. "That's the problem. It's real." Diddy rubs his forehead, pacing. He knows where this footage should have been. Gone, deleted, buried years ago. Someone kept a copy. Someone who wasn't supposed to. And now it's surfacing in the hands of a judge. "This wasn't leaked," Diddy whispers. "This was planted." "By who?" his lawyer asks. Diddy doesn't answer. Not yet, because he already has a guess. Across the internet, the clip spreads like gasoline on fire. Creators upload slowed-down versions. Tech accounts analyze shadows and angles. Fans dissect every pixel. Comments flood in, "That's new. This wasn't in any doc. What is Netflix hiding? What did Diddy do?" Then someone posts, "Breaking. The leaked video wasn't in Netflix's cut. It came from the court's sealed archive." That's when the internet truly loses it. And before we go deeper into what this means, make sure you subscribe, because what's about to unfold isn't just a leak. It's the beginning of a legal battle no one expected. And tell me in the comments, do you think this footage was leaked to hurt Diddy or to protect someone else? Now let's continue. Inside the courthouse, the judge enters his chamber with two clerks behind him. They carry a sealed envelope marked "Urgent, Anonymous Delivery." The judge slices it open and pulls out printed still frames. They're from the leaked footage, but not the same 8 seconds. These frames show something else, a different moment, a different night. The judge's heart drops. This means the leaked clip is only a fragment, a piece of a larger sequence. He whispers, "Someone is sending this in installments." One clerk asks, "Your Honor, should we notify the district office?" The judge shakes his head. "Not yet. If someone is trying to manipulate the system, I want to see everything first." "Why?" the clerk asks. The judge stares at the frames. "Because if these are real, they were never part of any official case file. Someone kept a private archive." Another clerk steps forward. "There's more, sir." She hands him a second envelope, smaller, lighter, handwritten. Inside is a simple note. "Review the footage before it disappears again." The judge crumples the note slightly, breath shaky. "Call the attorneys," he orders. "Call the Netflix team. Call Diddy's representatives." He turns toward the hallway, coat still half buttoned. "We're opening an emergency session tonight, before whoever sent this decides to release the next clip." The courthouse is normally silent at night, its hallways dim and hollow like something out of a forgotten film set. But tonight it feels alive, buzzing with a tension that doesn't belong here. Security has tripled, phones are confiscated, doors are locked behind reinforced codes only the judge controls. This isn't a routine gathering. This is an emergency session no one wants their name attached to. Netflix's legal team arrives first. They look shaken, carrying laptops and sealed documents. They're escorted through a side entrance, led down a flight of stairs normally used only during high-profile criminal trials. Diddy's lawyers arrive next, their faces tight with panic, their voices low, almost whispering as though the walls might be listening. They weren't given details, only the judge's message. Mandatory presence, urgent, sealed hearing. Everyone gathers in the judge's private chamber, a place normally reserved for confidential briefings, not full-blown crisis management. The judge stands at the head of the room, hands clasped behind his back. His expression is carved from stone. No greeting, no small talk, no warm-up. He goes straight to it. "A video was delivered to the court tonight, unmarked, anonymous. It contains footage of Mr. Combs that does not match any known evidence in our archives." Diddy's lawyers exchange glances. Netflix's counsel tightens her jaw. The judge continues. "This clip was sent to a restricted system through an unauthorized pathway. I need to know who created it and how it reached me." He steps aside and presses play. The 8-second clip plays silently in a loop. The atmosphere tightens. Even though no one in this room is new to sensitive footage, something about this clip unsettles them. Netflix counsel whispers, "This wasn't in our cut. We never used this angle." Diddy's lead lawyer leans forward. "That timestamp? This wasn't recorded by our team." The judge turns. "Then someone else was there." The implications crawl across the room like a cold draft. Someone had a camera rolling. Someone neither Netflix nor Diddy's team wants to acknowledge. The judge folds his arms. "We will now proceed with a private review." He gestures to the clerk. "Prepare the viewing room. We're watching everything." The private viewing room is small, windowless, soundproofed. A long table sits in the center, surrounded by 8 chairs. The lights are dimmed. A single screen glows softly at the far end. Everyone sits without speaking. The judge nods. The clerk hits play. This time the clip includes audio. The sound is faint, distorted by proximity, A voice off-screen mutters something. Diddy reacts sharply, too sharply, and the room feels like it loses a few degrees of warmth. Netflix's counsel inhales slowly. Diddy's lawyer shifts uncomfortably. The judge speaks. Now you understand why this requires immediate review. No one argues. Then the judge drops the first bomb. This footage was not part of the sealed evidence from the prior case. It was not part of discovery, which means it came from a private device. Netflix's legal team immediately defends themselves. We did not leak anything, the lead attorney says. Our internal logs show no downloads, no transfers, no access to the raw vault files. The judge raises an eyebrow. Yet someone had your footage and more. Diddy's lawyer jumps in, voice trembling. Your Honor, if this clip isn't from Netflix and it isn't from our archives, someone else had a camera in that room. That changes everything. If a third person recorded this privately without being noticed, it means someone who was physically present, someone who kept the footage, someone who watched this unfold, someone who waited years, someone who is now releasing pieces strategically. The judge lets the silence stretch. He wants them to feel the gravity. Then he gestures for the clerk. Show them the second envelope. The clerk opens a folder and begins laying out printed still frames across the table. Each one taken from a different moment, different angle, different lighting. Not one of these images matches the original 8-second clip. They're from another recording, a longer one. Diddy's lawyer stands abruptly. This is impossible. These aren't ours. Netflix's counsel analyzes one still frame, her voice small. These weren't in our cut either. The judge nods once. That's because someone else is feeding the court footage they shouldn't have. The room freezes. This case is no longer about a leak. It's about someone who has a private stash of footage, someone who's been sitting on it, waiting. The judge sits. We need to identify who is sending this. But before that, we need to understand what else they have. Netflix's counsel asks, is there more? The judge inhales sharply. There's a message with the second envelope. He picks up the handwritten note and reads, this is not the full clip. Don't ignore what comes next. That's when Diddy's lawyer loses composure. Your Honor, this is a coordinated attack. Someone is trying to weaponize old footage. The judge doesn't respond immediately. He leans back, thinking. Or, he says carefully, someone is exposing something that was never brought to light. Netflix glances at Diddy. Diddy glances at Netflix. Both look terrified for different reasons. The judge stands again. We will pause here. Before we continue, I need confirmation from both sides, under oath, that neither you nor your teams had possession of this footage. A heavy silence. Then Netflix's counsel speaks firmly. Our vault logs prove we didn't leak anything. But this second set of frames, it didn't come from us. Diddy's lead lawyer swallows hard. We don't have those frames either. We've never seen them. The judge nods. Then someone else was recording. Outside the courthouse, the world is a different battlefield. The leaked 8-second clip is still climbing the internet. People upload slowed-down versions. Commentators analyze the lighting. Tabloids create theories. A journalist posts, breaking. Court orders emergency session after receiving leaked video. The story fractures into hundreds of interpretations. Some say it's sabotage. Some say it's revenge. Some say 50 Cent is involved somehow. Some say someone from Diddy's past resurfaced. No one knows. Everyone guesses, and the truth hasn't even begun to unfold. Inside the courthouse, the judge ends the session with one final order. We reconvene in 1 hour, and before we do, we are checking the chain of custody logs on every device connected to this case. Diddy's lawyer asks quietly, what if the next clip leaks before then? The judge replies, voice cold and certain, then we're no longer dealing with a leak. We're dealing with someone who wants this footage out, and they're using the court to force it into the light. Everyone files out silently. The judge walks back to his chamber, but before he reaches the door, a clerk rushes toward him, breathless. Your Honor, something's wrong. He stops. What now? She hands him a tablet. A new notification flashes across the screen. Another file has been uploaded, same source, same method, Different timestamp? The judge locks eyes with the clerk. This wasn't supposed to happen. She whispers, "It just did." The judge doesn't return to his chamber right away. He stands in the dim hallway for a moment, staring at the tablet like it's a detonator. Another file, another anonymous upload, same signature. Someone is watching the court's reaction in real time and dropping footage accordingly. He finally moves, pushing the chamber door open as Netflix's team and Diddy's lawyers re-enter quietly. The room feels colder now, heavier, as if everyone senses this is no longer a legal review. It's a countdown. The judge places the tablet on the table. Another file, uploaded 20 seconds ago. The clerk connects it to the monitor, and the screen flickers, loading a new clip. This one isn't 8 seconds. It's 34. Longer, clearer, and shot from yet another angle. The room stiffens. Diddy's lawyer leans forward, his voice cracking. "That angle, that's not from our cameras." Netflix's counsel shakes her head. "Not from ours either." The judge studies the screen. It shows the same room, the same night, but now the background is visible. A reflection in the glass, a shadow, a second person holding a device, someone filming without being noticed. The judge whispers, "Whoever is behind this was in the room." Everyone goes silent. The clip ends abruptly, cutting to black. Then a final frame flashes, a timestamp that doesn't match the others. A different night entirely. The judge feels his pulse quicken. "This is not a leak," he says. "This is a sequence." Outside the courthouse, the internet is unraveling. News alerts ping across millions of phones. Emergency judicial session overnight. Unverified footage surfaces. Diddy legal team in crisis. Creators live stream breakdowns. Hashtags spike. People argue about whether the footage is real or fabricated. Some claim it's AI generated. Others insist it's part of a much larger vault. Inside, the judge calls for quiet. "Before any of you make statements to the press, before you panic publicly, you need to understand something." He takes out the first envelope again, then the second, placing the anonymous notes side by side. These weren't just sent, they were timed. Netflix's counsel swallows. "Timed for what, Your Honor?" The judge looks directly at her. "For the release of your documentary." Diddy's lawyer snaps. "That release must be halted immediately." But the Netflix attorney shakes her head. "Our distribution servers have already locked the schedule. The documentary deploys in 36 hours. Any pause requires federal order." The judge closes his eyes for a moment. "Then this emergency review needs to move faster than expected." The clerk hands him something else, yet another envelope. Smaller, thinner, delivered moments before the hearing resumed. The judge hesitates, then tears it open. Inside is a USB drive. Black, unmarked, ice cold from being left in the night air, and a note written in the same tight handwriting as before. "Clip 3 ends the debate. Show them." A chill sweeps through the room. The judge inserts the USB into the secure port. The screen loads. Diddy's lawyer wipes sweat from his forehead. Netflix's counsel clasps her hands. All eyes lock on the monitor as the third clip begins to play. This one is different. Not shaky, not hidden. It looks intentional, as though someone positioned the camera carefully. The audio is cleaner, the lighting steadier, and Diddy is not the only person captured. There's another silhouette, blurred but unmistakably real, a presence the previous clips hinted at only faintly. As the clip plays, the judge leans forward slowly, his expression darkening. Netflix's counsel whispers, "Oh my God." The room absorbs every second until the final frame freezes, a face reflected faintly in the window. Someone the judge recognizes, someone tied to the original sealed proceedings. The judge's voice drops. This clip, this wasn't part of any submitted evidence. It was intentionally withheld. Diddy's lawyer erupts. "That's impossible. We submitted everything required." But the judge cuts him off sharply. "No, someone kept this separate, hidden, waiting for the right moment." The silence is suffocating. Netflix's attorney asks, "What does this mean for the documentary release, Your Honor?" The judge takes a long breath. "It means the documentary contains material that was never legally reviewed. I must order a full emergency examination of the entire film. Every frame, every second. Diddy's lawyer sighs in relief. Good. That means it won't be released. But Netflix's counsel shakes her head. You don't understand. The film is already queued. The global release window is locked. The only way to stop it is a direct federal injunction filed before tomorrow night. The judge looks at her. Can you delay it manually? She answers. Not without triggering an automated leak. If we touch the release schedule now, the entire documentary may dump early across backup servers. The judge rubs his temples. So stopping it could make it worse. Diddy's lawyer steps forward. Your Honor, what happens now? The judge doesn't speak at first. He stares at the 3 clips frozen on the screen. The original leaked footage, the second anonymous frames, and the third explosive clip from the USB. 3 angles from 3 different devices. 3 pieces of evidence that should have never existed separately, now converging in a single night. He finally says, what happens now is that someone out there has been holding on to these clips for years. Someone who wants this footage exposed. Someone who waited for Netflix to finish their documentary, then time these drops to force this court to react. Diddy's lawyer goes pale. Why? Why now? The judge turns slowly, his voice almost a whisper. Because clip 3 proves the first 2 weren't accidents. It proves there was a second recorder in the room. It proves someone inside the circle knew this day would come. Netflix's counsel leans forward. So what does the court do? The judge glances at the clock. I issue the emergency order. Everyone stands instinctively. The judge picks up his pen and begins writing the motion by hand. Effective immediately, he says, the entire Netflix documentary will undergo emergency judicial review. Every scene, every interview, every hidden frame. If even 1 second matches the footage we saw tonight, this court is obligated to reopen sealed matters. The courtroom seems to tilt. Diddy's lawyer whispers, reopen? What exactly? The judge sets down the pen. Everything. Before anyone can react, the clerk gasps and holds up her tablet. Your Honor, Netflix servers just triggered a new alert. The judge grabs the device. A notification blinks on the screen. Anonymous upload complete, vault file, clip 4. The judge's face tightens. Another one, he murmurs. Diddy steps back, shaking his head. Netflix's counsel whispers, Who is doing this? The judge looks at them all, eyes dark and certain. This isn't a leak. This is a release. Someone wants this story out, and they're not waiting for the documentary. He clicks open the message attached to clip 4. It contains just 5 words. You're reviewing the wrong film. The room goes silent. No one moves. No one breathes. And the judge realizes the truth. The anonymous sender isn't reacting to Netflix's documentary. They're using it. The documentary isn't the target, it's the delivery system. And once the world sees what's hidden inside these clips, there will be no review, no injunction, no legal barrier strong enough to contain what's coming.